I think there's quite a few things that they can do to protect themselves from sort of the typical scamming that happens to everyone. Um, Probably the main thing that you can do, which is not being really, in some ways, yes, is being vigilant, is turning on MFA. Like
Mm,
that will solve most issues because even if they were able to get your password, all that sort of stuff, if you have the MFA and that sort of stuff, if they try and log in, they get challenged for MFA. They won't have that unless they have your device.
yeah.
Then yeah, but you have your device, so as long as you turn on MFA, you should be safe for a lot of things. But that only kind of, I guess, protects you um, uh, from certain, I guess, certain attacks, or when once they've gotten in, they know your password. But to even, before you get to that point of them having your credentials and that sort of stuff, usually I would say be vigilant when you're checking your emails.
Yeah.
Just there's a few things, so there's a few sort of catches that you can do. So double check double check where the email's coming from, um, and double check the domain. So sometimes like the email will say, "Hey, you have a Teams message. Click here to see it." And then you have a look at the domain, and it'll have a random, really random domain name. They'll be like 12345.com.
Yeah.
That's definitely 100% dodgy. So pay attention to things like that. Pay attention to who's sending you emails.
Yeah.
If you don't know that person, and if the name in the email kind of doesn't
Mm,
isn't familiar to you, don't click on it, obviously. And then just be very careful when you see attachments, because that's also another way that they can get through, or
yeah.
usually that's the way, is when you click the attachments. um, and then also don't, like, if it takes you, so with phishing, there's different types of sort of ways that people can get phished. Usually, it's just even like a lot of the stuff that I'm seeing right now is just, even if you receive the email or even just reading it, that's enough for you to get compromised. Then there's also sort of like a malware attachment, which is where if you open the attachment, it'll run some sort of random code, and then that's your computer pretty much compromised. And then there's a drive-by URL, which is a URL that's in the email. You click that, the same as the sort of attachment, runs another sort of code. And then there's a sort of credential harvesting, which is where you kind of click on the email, it takes you to a login page.
Yeah.
It may look like something from like Facebook or something like that, and then you just enter in your credentials, and then there's your credentials gone. And in which case, like, even if you enter your credentials but you have MFA turned on, it doesn't matter, because
Yeah.
MFA should protect you, ideally. And probably another thing is, don't share passwords. Like, do not share passwords. You see those Facebook accounts where it's got like
Yeah.
Mary and Chris, and you're like, oh, Jax. Yeah, don't share passwords. That's a um, really bad thing to do. And also, if you have trouble using passwords, try and look into something like a password manager.
Yeah.
um, and it's really good because you can save all your passwords there, and also it can create really strong passwords as well. So
Mm,
that's another thing, is have a strong password.
yeah.
Because another sort of attack is, obviously, password spraying or password guessing. And if you've got a short password, it won't take them long
Mm,
to crack into it. Um, but if you have a long password, they were like, "Oh, can't be bothered." Like, if it's a 16-character password, they'll be like, "Oh, can't be stuff. It'll take
yeah.
years." So just won't bother. So yeah, those are some sort of things. Just to recap: be vigilant in your emails. When you're checking that sort of stuff. Um, Not even just your emails, even when people would, like, some random accounts DM you on Facebook
Yeah.
or Instagram and they give you a link, don't click it.
Yeah.
If you don't know them, don't click it. Um, yeah, and then yeah, don't share passwords. Look at a password manager to help manage your passwords and that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Nice. So, what password manager do you use?
So I use Bitwarden. It's
Yeah.
a free password manager. I think there's quite a few out there. I think there's so Bitwarden, um, LastPass,
Yeah.
and I think another one's called Keeper. I think is
Yep.
another one,
Keep I've heard.
and
Yep.
then I think OnePass is another one as well. So there's quite a few out there. But yeah, and actually saying that though, I think LastPass recently or last year, at the end of last year,
Got
they had
breached.
a
Hey.
yeah, they had a breach, and that one was a really sophisticated breach as well. Um, it was like a hyper targeted engineer that was working, um, and that was working within LastPass, and he had really high credentials, or sorry, high privilege roles and that sort of stuff. So they got into his, I think, I'm pretty sure it was a home computer,
Oh,
or he
true.
was
Yep.
running some sort of server that was running a computer or server that was running I think it's Plex, I think is what it's called,
Oh,
which is
yeah.
like a it's like a it's like where you like you watch like pirated, not pirate. Yes, I think there's
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
mix of
Yeah.
pirated movies and stuff in there. Yeah, so he was running some sort of old version that had some sort of vulnerability. I could be wrong with this, and yeah, they exploited that, got into his machine, and yeah, yeah, I think
Damn.
the hackers managed to walk away with key vaults, customers' key vaults, or something like that. So yeah, um, yeah. But and once again, if you have MFA and that sort of stuff, that should help you protect you in those sort of cases. I'd guess. Yeah. Yeah.
What are the some of the most frequent cyber threats people and businesses face today?
Um, I would say probably the most common threat that people face now is probably what we talked about before, which was phishing. That's I think that's like responsible for 38% of breaches in USA. That is, but I imagine probably the same for everywhere else. And I think I saw like a statistic. I think it was like 98% or 95% of businesses, whether it's small, medium, or large, at some point they will face a phishing attack. And yeah, so like so phishing, and then there's I don't know how to actually say it, smishing, which is like SMS. So they're saying like you get a random SMS saying like I think the most common one that I've seen is the one where like you've got a package,
The parcel, yeah.
like but yeah, so like hey, your package is stuck in at the border or something, like click this link to reschedule it, and then it'll get you to reschedule and that sort of stuff. um there's also vishing, vishing as well, which is the voice stuff, and I think I think vishing is probably the one that's going to um in the next few years is probably going to be a bit more complex,
Yeah.
and it's going to be a hard one to protect against because I think as everyone's seen, like you see the voice AI stuff,
Yeah.
yeah, and like how really good, like even right now, it's still early technology, but it's like really good right now where you can replicate people's voices. I've seen on TikTok and stuff where um, like you'll get SpongeBob or like
Yeah.
yeah, like SpongeBob or Goku and stuff, and they cover like songs from people. So it's yeah, yeah, legit, it's crazy. So like yeah, so and with AI, which is still
Mm.
I would say it's still in its infancy. So as the technology starts to get better, those attacks will be much harder to protect against. I think so. I feel like the vishing is the one that's going to play a higher role in the amount of attacks that's going to happen in the next few years.